After 5 days of grief and anger, there was huge anticipation surrounding this moment.
The first charge is felony murder. This is the death that is as a result of an underlying felony, and in this case, the underlying felony is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and the possible sentences for a felony murder conviction would be life without parole, or the death penalty.
It's Garrett Rolfe who fired the fatal shots at Rayshard Brooks, who now faces that prospect with a total of 11 charges. Devin Brosnan, the other officer at the scene, faces 3 charges. He will now act as a witness in the case. This police footage formed a big part of the charge decisions. It all began when the officers responded to a report of a man sleeping in his car at a fast food drive-thru. Their body cameras show Rayshard Brooks chatting cooperatively with them. The district attorney described him as almost jovial. He went on to fail a breathalyzer test. After 41 minutes and 17 seconds of calm, things changed when the officers tried to handcuff him for suspected drink driving. The 3 are seen fighting on the ground before Brooks grabs an officer's taser and runs away. He points the taser over his shoulder. Officer Rolfe then shoots him multiple times. Prosecutors say he then kicked Rayshard Brooks as he lay dying on the ground. The other officer stood on his shoulder. For over 2 minutes, both men failed to provide any treatment.
You would kick another human being after you just put 2 bullets in his back. But even in dark times like this, you have to try and see the light. And the positivity of this situation is the courageousness of Officer Brosnan to step forward and say what happened was wrong.
This police killing came in the middle of national protests over police brutality against black Americans. Donald Trump has been criticized for his response to it, which included a violent crackdown on peaceful protesters outside the White House, to make way for this political stunt. Speaking to Kay Burley, his 2016 rival Hillary Clinton slammed his handling of this crisis.
You know, they were totally peaceful protesters. And what he was trying to do, as he often does, is to mischaracterize them and their behavior and their goals and lump them in with the tiny, tiny minority of people who took advantage of a tragic moment to loot and to steal and to vandalize, a tiny, tiny percentage. And he wanted to cast that over the millions of, very thoughtful, nonviolent, peaceful protesters.
For a photo opportunity.
Yeah, well, absolutely. For a photo opportunity holding a book he's never read.
He says that it's one of his favorite books.
Yes, and he can't tell you a single thing that's in it. That has been a pattern. He's tried to hijack Christianity and the Bible in ways that are, deeply hypocritical.
The movement may take some peace from today's charges, but it also highlights how deep this problem runs and how much it's going to take to end this devastating cycle. Amanda Walker, Sky News, Washington.